This is Irontrader, and it is Thursday morning. So we're going to take a look here at Bitcoin, at gold, silver, crude oil, natural gas. And we'll take a look here at the NQ, which is down about 91 here today. Now, the key today is going to be that PPI report at 8:30. So we got to see that's going to measure inflation on the businesses. So let's see how that all is going to shake out. Now, yesterday we had the CPI report, and the market rallied, but that was a selling into it. Now, just remember, there's a lot of times where you can have, you know what I'm saying, is you buy the rumor and then you sell that news. You know what I'm saying? That's the key. That's the key. Sometimes it'll work out. So we got to see if that shakes out today. Another thing, Tesla came out there. They were supposed to have their robocard today on the 12th. They delayed that now. We're on Elon Musk time. So that's going to be on the 22nd is when the old robo taxi is going to be debuted. Okay. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy or sell any stock commodity ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Okay, here we have Bitcoin all stretched out here nice in the daily chart. Now, you can see here how we had this nice rally up here. We got as high as 110.890. What we're looking for here is the top of this candle here is 110.980 level. Came in pretty close. That was your resistance level, okay? And then yesterday we made 110.855 here. So we're just a little bit lower than that. And then today we're coming right on down here, okay? So Bitcoin basically is trading with the overall market. So when the market is rallying, looks like Bitcoin wants to rally too here. So always just keep that in mind, especially it looks like it follows the Nasdaq, okay? But now we have some really good support levels here going on. We're watching this 8-day 106.752 and this 21-day 106.709. Okay, these are your key support levels. Now again, if that is lost here, then we're going to come right to the bottom of this candle here. 105.735. That's going to be your next level. Then we'll come to the bottom of this candle here. You're looking at 104.595. And we'll come down here. You're looking at 104.100 level. Then we'll come out here to the bottom of this candle here. Looking at 102.350. And then we have this retest down here at that 101.390. And then we have 100,815 level. Okay, so just want to watch that price channel. Now, what we got going on here is, if it can hold this, then this could be a good buying opportunity here to take it up. Okay, so that's what we're watching now. Now on the upside here, we're going to be watching yesterday's low. Okay, so you're looking at 108.765. We'll go to today's high, 109.240 level here, and then we can come up top of this candle. You're looking at 109.340, and then we just do just a reverse. You got 110.855. And then you have 110.890, and we follow the candles right on up here at 110.980, and then we have 112.60, and then there's your big retest at 112.345. So let's just see if it can hold this level here. But I just think here this is actually going to be a really good buying opportunity here, but just be a little bit patient kind of a situation. Okay, this is a trader. Now, yesterday was a really good trade. Look on the TQQ. As soon as that CPI report came up, the market rallied. That was a selling point for me. It was anyway. So I dumped the TQQ in there. I dumped the BITX in there, and now I'm waiting for a nice buying opportunity here. If it holds these key levels here, this 21-day at that 106.708 and that 106.750 level. That's going to be the very, very key level here of support, but it needs to hold on a closing basis. If not, we could come down and retest this 108.15 real easy. Now you can see here how we got to that overbought condition. It sold right off. Had a nice good rally up here, but it just couldn't, get back up to that 70 mark, and now we're rolling over a little bit. But this is still very, very strong. We have a good uptrending chart going on here. Okay, so just don't get excited here. Watch that 8-day and that 21-day for that key support levels. Now we're sitting here. We've got a sideways action. Green is a little bit below your red here, but it'd be good if this would just consolidate here a little bit. And then we can have a nice good run and push higher. Okay, let's take a look here now at gold and silver. Okay, here we have the gold and we have the old silver. Now, you can see here gold is rallying up here, which I figured it was going to be. Now, when you look at this chart here, see we have a low, higher low, higher low, higher low, and higher highs. Okay, this is a very, very bullish chart. So if you watched my video yesterday, you said I told you I said just be a little bit patient here. But we have a very, very nice, good-looking chart going on here because you're 8 days over your 21-day, and your 21-day is curling up. Your 50 days up on the upside here. Very, very bullish chart. Now, big brouhaha last night there with I guess with Israel and Iran. So that would actually, if that materializes, that could send gold up much higher, and it could also send oil up much higher. We'll take a look at that in a little bit. Okay, so what we're really looking for on the upside, we're looking for right here. Okay, all I got to do is bring this price channel across. That's that 34.27, and all that is just the top of that candle. Okay. okay? So 34.27, that's our mark, and then we have to see what the reaction is once it gets there. If it gets above that, then we're going to be looking right here, 34.44, and then 34.48. Okay, then we have your big retest up here at 35.09, and we have to see what the reaction is. Okay, you crack above that, I think you're going to venture to that 35.50 and maybe even 3600 level here on the old gold. But right now, the chart is looking very, very bullish kind of scenario going on here. Okay, so on the downside, you really need to hold this 33.68. As long as you hold that 33.68, 69 level, you're looking really good. If that's lost, we come down to today's low. You're looking at 33.58. We'll come down here, 33.35. But realistically, that 33.21, that 21-day is key. And then right below it, we have 32.88. But this is just a beautiful bullish looking chart here. Look how nice it held here, how nice it held here. Okay, and now how nice it is holding this 21-day all the way on up here, and now we're holding that 8-day. So this just looks like it wants to rally higher. Now, if we do close above this level right here, this price channel at 34.27, then I will be all in on the GLD, because I think we're going to go to this level, and I think we're going to retest that 35.09 level. Okay, so GLD for me is the way I trade the long, SLV for the silver. Real easy in and out kind of trade, big volume, no worries, no hassles. Okay, 58, plenty of room to run here. We got a sideways action. The green is over your red here. So basically just be a little bit patient, but you can see how this is just has a nice, good rally up here, but we got to see what's going to happen at that 34.27 level. That's going to be very, very key to see what exactly was going to happen there if we go to the next level or to the next level. Okay, silver had a really good run here. Here we're building up all that energy, had a nice bull flag going here, popped right up here, but you notice when it gets outside these price channels, okay, see how it wants to come back in, okay? So now what we had is we had a nice good series of lower highs and lower lows, but you notice that it kind of went down below that 8-day, but look at that. Look at old sticky up here, okay? So put a bottoming tail in here so far, and now we're rallying right back up. So what we're watching here on the upside is today's high, 36.58. Then we'll go to yesterday's high, 36.79. And then we're going to come right up here to this 37.03. We crack that, you're going to head to that 38 level, and I think you're going to be heading right to that 40 level, okay? So you got to be a little bit patient. Now, again, if we close above this 37.03, then I'll be long the SLV, and I'll take it and ride it all the way up here until, it tells me not to, okay? Now, downside here, this 8-day is everything. We want to hold that 35.94 level, okay? If that's lost, we'll just go to today's low at that 35.58 level, and then we can come all the way over here. We come down here. You have 35.15. We have 34.95. But what we're really looking for then is the top of this candle here, that 34.94 level, and then we follow the candles out. But really, your 21-day is going to be what you're looking for at that 34.28. But right now, this is still looking very, very nice here because we are, as long as we hold this 8-day on a closing basis, come all the way down here and come back up here, that don't mean dead. Okay, you just got to make sure that we hold that on a closing basis. Then we have a good shot at this thing reversing and going to retesting that 37.03. Now, we got to an overbought condition. You can see that. And then it came down. But now we have sideways here. So this is showing that this is still very, very strong. Your green is still over your red here. But I said yesterday, just be a little bit patient here because when you get to that overbought, it wants to come down, sell down a little bit. But this is just a little sell off here. As long as we hold that 8, we got a good shot at this sideways to up action. Okay, let's take a look at the old crude ski and Natgas. Okay, here we have crude oil. Now, crude oil had a really nice, good rally yesterday, but you got to know when to set into it. I'm going to show you on a weekly chart here in just a little bit here on the crude scale, okay? So what we got here is we had this big green candle here, and yesterday we popped above here, but you notice that it couldn't hold this key 200-day, okay? Popping above it and coming right back down again. See, now all these candles were here were outside that price channel. You see that? And then she came right on down here. So now what we're really looking for on the downside is we're looking to hold this 66.26 level. That's going to be very, very key. If not, we're going to have it come right down here to that 8-day at 64.93. Now, big brouhaha going on with Iran, and this still might be an attack situation, which would take oil higher. But let's just see, if you can't get through that 200-day, then she's just not going to go higher, okay? So we didn't really get to it oversold, but came pretty close, and then came right on down here. Same way your green is over red, but this is a really, really good run. So when we were down in this area here and down in this area that's down here, I was pointing out we have a left shoulder, we have a head, and we have a right shoulder here. If this materializes and this takes it across, we're going to go to that not only the 100-day, but the 200-day. And where do we go? Right there, okay? Just as simple as that. Okay, we're going to take a look at natural gas, and we'll come back to crude. I'm going to show you a daily and also on a weekly chart. Okay, natty gas here. Well, very, very fickle. Okay, so what we did is we had this double top situation, came on down, then we had a bull flag ran up, but it couldn't go higher, and then we came down. But look at here yesterday. We came down, we went below this key 21 day at that 350 level and that 50 day and that 348. Came below it, but we noticed that it closed above. Now look at what happened today. Popped right up. See, this is why you want to trade the charts. It's all right here for you. Okay, so long as we're holding that, then where do we go? We rallied up. Where'd it go? Right into the 8-day. Okay, now this is what you're looking on the upside is 3.64. You get above that, then we're going to go right here at 3.6, roughly 6.8. You get above that, and then we're going to, the next target is going to be 3.76, and then we're going to go 3.83, but we're going to just going to call that at 3.84 level. Okay, you really have to get close above that. That's going to be the key. Okay, now downside, obviously you have to hold this 350 area. This is very, very key. If not, we're going to come right down to yesterday's low at that 344. Now we're looking at this candle here, 340, 345 was yesterday's low, 344. It held that. See that? See that? Now this could be a very good, nice, possible double bottom situation. So just pay attention to this. Okay. Now again, obviously, if that's lost, it will come to the top there, 335, and then 329. So always look to the left of the chart and look for patterns. Okay. So when it came all the way down, 345, it never came all the way down, came within a penny, but that was holding it. Okay. This candle right here, 344, that was giving a nice, good support level, closed back above, and now we're rallying up here right into that 8-day. So you have to get above that 8-day. Then your next level is that 100-day, and then the next level we're going to be really charging for is that 3.84. Now you can see RSI curling right back up here. Not looking too bad, okay? And this here looks like the green was going to cross over, but this is natural gas. They don't call us the widowmaker for nothing. And she's hanging right in there nice. Okay, so what I'll be looking for today is trades. If we get above this 8-day and this 100-day, then what I'll do is I'll jump into UNG and I'll take it up here to that 384 level, okay? If we lose this 8-day and say it starts coming down, it might be a good short here with the KLD back down to this 21-day and 50-day, and then if we lose that, it'd be a nice good short all the way down here to the 21-day. So this is a two-way trade, okay? That's what that is. Same way with the old crude, okay? So let's take a look at crude oil on a daily and also a weekly. Okay, here we have the old crude ski. There's your a daily chart. You can see here where we went right into that 200-day, and then we pulled right on back. Okay, so now the next level which we're looking for here is on a weekly chart. Here is that 50-day at 70.08. Okay, so far we got all the way up to 69.29 level, but that 70.08 level is going to be very, very crucial. Obviously, if we can get above that, then we're going to come right on top of this candle right here. You're looking at that 72.28 level. That would be next. Okay, so all you have to do is look at a daily, and a weekly chart. Everything you need to know is sitting right there. Okay, so we had this nice rally. See this double bottom situation? Very, very nice. Then we did flagged out, and then look at here. It took us quite a few weeks here, but look at the nice rally that we had right on up here. Okay, but again, that 200-day is just too strong for the price. Okay, we get above that, and we have that 50-day. But so just be very, very cautious here when you see these big numbers, okay? So what I mean by big numbers is once it holds that 8-day, that gives you really good support. But then you always have to watch that 100-day, which we went through yesterday. But where did it go? It slammed right into that 200-day, and that's always, usually it's never going to get through there on the first time, okay? So even we look in the past here, see how it went right on up here, and it didn't quite make it there, but it just couldn't get through it, and then she came right on down, okay? So you got to be very, very careful here when you're trading, okay? So when you see these big resistant levels here, like your 50-day and your 100-day and especially your 200-day is always very, very key. It never really breaks there through the first time. However, now if this comes down and it holds this 100-day, okay, or even that 8-day comes all the way down there, this is still a very, very bullish pattern. Now we can take it up, and maybe on a second try, we can get through that 200-day. Okay, so you got to be a little bit cautious. But when you see that, this is where the level that what you sell into. Okay, because you can always buy it again. If it closes back above that, then we can take it higher. But if it can't, then we have to look on the, then it's going to come right on down. But always look at that and then say, okay, I'm going to put on the weekly. Look at here. I got the 50-day. That's next. Now that's going to be very, very strong resistance. Now, if I can get above that, I have this candle. Then I can zoom this all the way up to that 79, and that's going to be very, very strong. Okay, so always look at these as extremely strong. The higher they get, the 50-day, The 100-day, especially that 200-day, strong resistance. That's selling into that. Okay, let's take a look here at the old NQ. Okay, here we have the Nasdaq futures. Now, yesterday here, the inflation number came in really good. Now, I think the PPI number is going to come in good also this time. Okay, next month, I don't know. The tariffs might be a little bit affected, and we might be a little bit of a different scenario. But let's just see. But right now, you can see here, yesterday, we're rallied right on up here. Now we're holding this 8-day, and that's going to be very, very critical. If we lose that, I just think we're going to come right down to this catch-all at 2150, 521. And then we have to see what the reaction is once you get there, okay? If it doesn't hold it, then we want to look to the bottom of this candle here at that 471, and then we just follow these candles all the way down. You can come all the way down 163 level. We have a 071 level. It'll come down here to the bottom. You got 954 level. Then we'll come right down to this price channel right here. So you're looking at that 20,727 level, which is basically right here, this candle right here. Okay, so that's what we got here on the downside. Now on the upside, you can see we have this melt up, okay? So we have consolidation, and we have this another consolidation, but we're just melting up here. But what I don't like, and I've been pointing out here, is see how we get the green turn blue, okay? That's an overbought condition. See how we have a high, but we have a higher high, but we have a lower high here. See this? Negative divergence, okay? Red flag, red flag, red flag, okay? So just always watch and pay attention to that, because when melts up, when the stocks and the commodities melt up, that's never a good thing, because it's always going to end up reversing and coming down very, very hard. So just always prepare yourself. Just because we had good inflation numbers, a lot of times it's not the news that matters. It's the reaction to that news, okay? So a lot of times you can buy the news, buy the rumor, and then you want to sell that news, okay? That's the key, which is sometimes you have to watch here. So just be very, very cautious today on that PPI report. Let's see how that all shakes out. The same way with Tesla, when they come out, okay, they announced that they're going to come out on the 12th. Well, we got to go on E-line time, so it's going to be the 22nd, okay? Well, as soon as they announce that, the stock is coming right off here again, okay? So that's what you have to understand is a lot of times you say, oh, it's going to do this. Yes, it will, but sometimes you have to always watch that reaction. Okay, that's what I got for you. I'll be back here midday trading. We'll take a look at some stocks. And remember, trade what's in front of you, not what you want.